We are so pleased you're here and we're ready to begin. And we have a gift for you, and that is the blueprint to your success. We know many of you would want that today, especially on this day, because there's so much energy moving through your world, and you might have been a little unsettled, and we wanted to give you something that would help. Because, see, we know what's happening, and we know that you're here to help bring in your new world. And you'll do that when you become willing to honor who you are and take that journey of self-exploration and movement to your greatness, because we know that you all have it. But to help you today, because we know many did not understand how this work had come about, how our messenger had done this, how he had healed his life, even though we've given you so many things, today you will understand it because more of you are open, because you felt what's happening in your world, and now everything that we've said is beginning to make sense. But it's making sense for a great reason. It's going to get you to understand how wonderful you are, what you came to the world to offer. We know it looks a little challenging, and your life has been that way as well. But that's why you're here, because you went through something that was so brilliant that now can be actualized. And we're talking about now, because this day there's an energetic shift. There's a portal that you could move through today if you decided to own who you are. And it would be so wonderful because your world would thank you for it. But what we did was we gave you another little ebook. No, we gave you a little course because we wanted you to understand. So we put all the messages together for January 23rd. And if you don't know, that's a really energetic day. And everything is energy, which is what we wanted you all to understand. Because when you start to understand that you have so much more control over your life and your experience when you get control over your consciousness. And that is all the work that we have given you. And we've given our messenger this for more than 36 years now. And so now it's time for him to move on. We're saying this because you each have something you're meant to do at a specific time. And to prove it to you all, we put at the end some little astrological influences so you would understand why this date is so important, why it was connected to our messenger. But what we're saying, it's connected to all of you. And so what we've recently revealed to him, because you're going to discover many things about yourself, that's what happens when you go through an ascension journey, but this is a mass one for your entire planet. That's why it's been so stressful. But as you take care of you, you'll move through it easily. And that's been our only goal, because you're going to see everything out in the world continually to go seeming like it's going insane. But that's what we said. You have to shake things up. You have to have a little chaos so that you would move. But some of you might become a little afraid before you do that. But we would like for you to do it sooner than later. Because see, your energy going into the world is going to help the change. The thing that we've wanted you all to understand is your importance. And we've done it in so many ways, but now you'll understand it because you'll go back to the beginning, even though this isn't really the beginning, because we only gave you a message starting in 2008. Our messenger started in 1989, and he recently discovered a whole decade of messages that he hadn't even gone through. Because we've said we've given you an encyclopedia of personal development, self-actualization, and ascension. And what happens when you use it is you heal. And he's the best example. He's 74 and all the stuff is gone. Now, he has problems saying this. He has problems telling you that, but he can no longer hold back because you each need to know what is possible in human existence. And many of you will come in and create things that are brand new, and that can cause it to be a little challenging for you as well, which is done for him. And no one will understand you. His family didn't understand him. No one did. All of these years. But now we have proof, because all you have to do is go back and read all of the messages. No one could go through those messages and not see that it is connected to a higher intelligence that he was able to access. And that's why it worked. That's why our work that you all have done is different. Many of you said, we don't understand why this is different than everything else, because we connected to a higher source that didn't consider your race, that didn't consider your gender, that didn't consider the country that you came from. Because you're a soul. You came into the world to offer something. But then you will move through periods of time in your world, in your civilization, where you lose that because there are others who will want to take all the control, which is what we told you. When we first began 4 years ago, convincing our messenger to do a live conversation, because he did not want to do that, we said, you have to. Because we wanted you to understand you would be moving through so much fear and doubt. But that is because you have so much within you that's just trying to get out. It's just trying to come awake now, and we've given you a way to do it. And we're going to have so much fun through this little program that we're giving you because we just wanted you to have a taste of it. And that's just a fraction. The work that we have given our messenger could have any of you achieve great heights because it all happens in your consciousness. We've given them everything. We've answered every question. We've answered every question any of you could have about your life. And you've seen it. It just, you didn't believe it. He didn't believe it either. And that's why we're saying it today, because we had to put this all together. So what we've done, had him go back and move through so many times where he didn't understand why he was putting together messages over several years. It's because there's an energetic connection from information that none of you are really conscious of it. And it's also why he could know your birthday. We told you if he were to meet someone, he would have a message on your birthday that came through in 2012. And you would wonder, well, how could that happen? There's an energetic connection that happens at a particular time. When you were born, you had a genetic code that was unfolded, and it gets activated as the planets move and the energies change. That's how you all grow. You don't always figure that out, which is why we said that we used all the ones who have come before. We talked about Einstein, we talked about Jung, we talked about Nietzsche, all of them. They're in there, and Jesus. But we said you couldn't get that one because you're still going to go into judgment. So that didn't work really well. Or Buddha. We've given you all of them because when you go back to the times, which is why we took our messenger, we had him start at the Hermetic principles because we wanted to move beyond all the judgment that you've each had about yourselves and others. That's why this works, you see. That's why you heal. And we've said, many of you didn't believe it, that we've given you something that would change your life and transform you and also your world. And not a single one of you have told us why that wouldn't happen. But we know that it's challenging because you have to break through your resistance. You have to break through your blockages. This is why we've talked about the cognitive dissonance. But don't worry, because you're going to get there. See, our messenger has had it forever. But he had to, because he couldn't have brought through this work unless he lived it and proven the results that you could all have. He's quite aware, and we've said this before, the first part of his life felt to him like a sacrifice. He was being punished. He was going through everything horrible that happened. And now he knows that it was for a purpose. And we're saying that because that's the same for you. And we know that because we've given it to you. Many of you have felt it. Many of you have gone into that place, and those are in our work. But we're telling you, there's so much more. And this is what we're doing now. So what we're doing today, we're leaving you with this because we want you to work with it. We're going to leave a link so you have it by itself so you can answer questions. When we give you the work, it's about stimulating your consciousness and stimulating what is within you. We will use our messenger in stories at times. That's just to give an illustration. But this work is for you because you are that great. You just have to find it. And we've given you tools to be able to do that. And there will be no way for you to move through this. And we're so grateful for this because our messenger didn't know. We got him up to date to do this because last night we had him put up a very different message. He didn't know that this was going to happen, but we said this is an energetic time and they need this. We don't want you to be afraid. We don't want you to go into panic. Because you're brilliant beings and you have everything to bring into the world. It just takes time. So we just wanted you to be patient. We just wanted you to show you how he went about it. Our messenger sat down every single day and brought in this information. Now he hasn't accepted the worth of that, which is why we're changing it today, because that's the other thing we said. The wealth and income in your world has to be changed. And though those of you who are not accepting it for what you've done, that's what's causing all your difficulties. We wanted you to realize how wealthy you are, which is why we gave you the message the other day. This is your path to wealth. Because wealth is when you own every aspect of you, and this is what we've given you. And it took our messenger 74 years before he could get through it and understand it to give it to you. But as you'll see, because we left a message in this presentation of the astrological aspect, so you can see how powerful this day is for you. For all of you. That's why we've given it to you. But we know it's challenging to believe this could have happened. Our messenger didn't believe it as well because he's walking around healed from things that were impossible but they are not. And this is why we have to have him break out of his shell, because many of you have shame and embarrassment you have to move through even when you discover something, because you will feel, oh, well, no one's going to understand this. He's done that so much, but none of you can do that. You each come with something of great value that's within you, and that is what you're meant to offer now. This is why you're having a restructuring of your world, because you can create something so much better, and it comes through you. And as you go through these exercises, you're going to already feel so much better about yourself. And we'll see you, because we're going to have another channeling session, another public channeling session, because we want you all there, because you have a new moon coming up that's going to be a transformative time for all of you. If you start to put into your consciousness where you're going, what you want to have, you're going to get so much more of that as you go through this work. This is why we said it's a gift, and we are so happy we can give it to you, because there is nothing we want more in this world than for you to love yourself.